Right, we're on. During the golf swing, it's natural for us to guide our attention towards the club head in a way to kind of monitor what's going on. It's pretty much impossible to do that. Today we're going to discuss why. So when I swing my driver at, my club head speed for drivers 112, 109, 108, 9, 10, 11, round about there miles per hour. It varies every day. And for me to monitor that club head speed or what the club head's doing is very, very difficult. If I get my club head speed up to 100 miles an hour with driver, now that can happen within the space of 1 second. So how can I monitor what the club head's actually doing when it's generating so much velocity in such a short period of time? Well, I can't. You have to be a very educated golfer to be able to do that. I'm not. I can, however, educate my hands. So my hands are a point of contact with the golf club, the only point of contact with the golf club, and they're much easier to monitor than the club head. As I mentioned, my driver club head speed maxes out at 112. Now the club head is much further away from the centre of rotation, being the body, so it's travelling faster. My hands being closer to the centre of rotation, my body, are travelling slower. So they're much easier to control, easier to monitor. So if I can control and educate what the hands do, I can feel what the hands do, then I have much more control of the club head. So taking players' awareness away from where the head is and what the head's actually doing during the swing and focusing more on the hands, we'll be able to control that head much better. To have an understanding of how your club face got to that position at the top of the swing or that position at the top of the swing, and feeling that's very tricky. To feel your left wrist or both hands moving in that action or that action, much more relative, much easier to relate to. And as I say, the slower the moving object, the easier it is to control. So assuming I have a good grip. Now if I get up to here and I'm looking to get a little bit of hinge action in there, I want my club to hinge. Yeah, I've got a grip that's very, very weak to here. So my left hand is turned anti-clockwise as I look down. And I can't hinge that. So if I was to educate my hands to have a good grip, then I'd get this hinge I'm after. That's educating the hands to hit positions that you're after. I mean, if your coach tells you need to create that L shape, beautiful looking L shape, and you can't get into that position, then the hands need educated. The best way to have an understanding of this is to stop in certain positions in the golf swing and relate where the hands are in relation to what the club head or the sweet spot is actually doing round that shaft or in space. So taking your address position, now where are my hands? My hands are ahead of the golf ball. I'm hitting 7-iron here, yep. Brilliant, what a player, eh? I'm hitting 7-iron here, I've got some forward shaft lead, my hands are ahead. As I look down, I can see 1.5 knuckles on my left, 2 knuckles, sorry, on my left hand, 2.5 even. And my right hand, I'm aware there's a bit of press going on there. Good. At impact, I want to get back to there, so I want to educate the hands to have more compression at impact, so I can do little drills to educate, okay, there's where I want to be. Do you remember my videos on impact fix from the golf machine? Take your address position, into your full impact position, relax, swing, back to full impact position. You've preset it, you've educated the body and the hands to feel impact and return to that position at impact. Educating the hands to understand what the club's going to do. Well, club comes back, let's get into a good position here. I want my club face, my leading edge. As I take the club back, my leading edge to be the same as my spine angle. Leading edge to marry up with my spine angle. So what have the hands done? Foot joy glove, back of the glove points forward. Back of the glove points towards camera. Hands are just outside the right thigh, so I've created the width. And my right hand sits on top of the club. It doesn't roll open. It's sitting on top of the club there. So even educating yourself from a good address position with hands ahead of the golf ball to that position there with the right hand on top and foot joy glove pointing towards target or towards golf ball or top of golf ball, we've created a good position there, halfway back or quarter of the way back, position 2, where the leading edge of the club marries up with my spine. So the club looked good there, club face looked good there. That's just one example, but I was just purely educating the hands. And I'm concentrating on what my hands are doing. I've got a good grip on the club, so I get my hands to there. I don't have to look at the golf club now. Not interested in the club head. Hands are educated to there, back to impact. Dress position, impact, hands to there, back to impact. So even just that, great strike. So even just that little tip there alone, that little segment of the golf swing, that small educated section of the hands gave me a good strike. What happened through impact? I returned to my impact fix. And then from there, I got the foot joy to point towards camera, to point towards target, to point behind me. Educating the hands, FootJoy glove, FootJoy badge. I'm not sponsored by FootJoy, I just happen to have a FootJoy glove on. I have absolutely no sponsors whatsoever, I'm sponsored by no one. If you'd like to sponsor me, give me a shout. Educate the hands. This is just a small segment of the golf swing. We're not going away up here. We're not worrying about the club head up here. I'm not going to worry about my hands up here. That's another day. This is just an example just now that the back of my left hand points towards target, seeing 2.5 to 3 knuckles in my left hand. Impact, I can see I've pressed the hands further forward and I've got the right hand sitting on top of the golf club or the aft of the club. Good. Back to dress. There, right hand's on top, FootJoy badge towards camera, FootJoy badge towards target, FootJoy badge behind me. Whatever happens up here happens. I'm just going to go through this little section here. I'm really just going through impact. There. Hands are ahead into impact. When I do the impact fix, I turn the whole body and shift the weight. FootJoy badge, right hand on top. FootJoy badge to impact, FootJoy badge behind me. Educating the hands and not worrying about the club head whatsoever. There. Great strike again. So I'm sure you can see how educating the hands can control. So I'm sure you can see how educating the hands can take control of the club head. We don't need to have control of the club head, we just need to control the hands. Having full control of the hands, which again, as I mentioned, are closer to the body, don't travel quite as fast as the club head, so they're easier to control. The club head moving from 0 to 100 miles an hour within 1 second. How can you even be aware of where that club face is unless you're a very educated elite golfer? Understand where your hands are, you have feel in them, you have feel in your fingertips, you can fully control them. You have 100% control of that. So if you've got 100% control of your hands and your grip on the golf club is good, you'll have 100% control of your club head without even having to worry about it. Guys, subscribe. If you've not subscribed, why not? Come on, come on. So subscribe to the channel. If you have subscribed, thank you very much. Leave a thumbs up, hit the bell notification as well, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.